let's dive in and check out everything that's new with messaging.
Auto-translation works in almost all major languages, except emojis.
Let's jump right into things and start with all of our new releases for messaging. To help us talk through all the messaging releases is Paul from our messaging product marketing team. Paul, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Andrew?
I am doing very well. So, Paul, Mark and I just talked a little bit about the importance of messaging and also recapped our messaging launch back in February. But I'd love for you to just provide a bit more detail before we get into all the releases and why messaging is so critical for businesses.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a couple of quarters now that we've been working on bringing all kinds of great messaging features to you, our customers. And we really like to think about messaging as a strategy for engaging with your customers, meaning we're giving you options for staying connected with them no matter where they are. That could be web, that could be mobile, it can be Facebook, it can be WhatsApp. It doesn't matter if it's on your website or your mobile device. We're delivering tools that will help you make these channels more efficient. We're talking about automation, easy routing, context for your agents, and things for personalizing those conversations as well. So really like putting all of these things together, it's really about delivering conversational experiences that are modern and feel great for your customers every single time that they reach out to you.
Well, and I think more so, messaging is what people want. We have a stat here on screen that says 50% of people like to use the same channels that they use with friends and family. And I don't know about you, but I'm, not sending emails to my mom and dad or my brother. We are using messaging. I'm using iMessage. I'm using WhatsApp. It's just the modern way that we've come to expect to communicate. So, Paul, do you want to dive in and start with some of the new releases for messaging?
Yeah, let's dive right in. How about starting with auto translation of messaging conversations? I don't know about you, Andrew, but if you remember the days when providing support in multiple languages was a support manager's worst nightmare, going global was really expensive. It was really hard to manage, especially on traditional channels like voice. What's great about auto translations is that it's automatically going to recognize the language that your customer is using and translate that conversation into your agent's native language and vice versa. And all of this is going to be happening in real time. So at the end of the day, you're not going to need an army of agents to help your customers worldwide. And imagine you're going to live in a world where you can have a customer who speaks, Danish, and an agent who speaks, Russian, perfectly understanding each other while providing service to each other in real time.
I think that's a great addition and increases the productivity of a support team and allows them to expand the base of customers that they can support. I mean, a great experience is one that is fast. It's one that is personalized. And we talk about personalization a lot. You can personalize the conversation all you want, but if you're not speaking in someone's language, it's not all that personal. And so having the ability to translate the conversation is great. Well, Paul, we last quarter talked a lot about the automation components behind messaging, namely our flow builder capabilities, which allows businesses to build messaging flows that can automatically serve up articles, they can serve up automatic answers, and generally help guide customers to a resolution without having to speak to an agent. My guess is that we're bringing some of these language and translation capabilities there as well.
Yeah, we are. So we have some goodies there for admins as well, also related to auto translation. Within Flow Builder, you now have an option to enable a feature. It's a simple toggle, allows you to automatically translate text elements into the flow as well, into your customer's native language. Things that used to only be able to render in English are now available in all of our different default languages. We're talking about details like quick replies, direct replies, even messages around agent transfer and whatnot. You only need to do this once when you build your flow, and then you can see it deployed in one of 17 different languages, really helping admins build and automate smarter workflows, keeping your global operations in mind once again.
Well, both of these sound like awesome productivity hacks for support teams. I want to see this one in more detail, specifically the automatic translation for a business's agents and how they can translate conversations. Why don't we jump right into the product and check it out?
Let's do it. Let's say you run global operations and you've configured your messaging workflows to automatically translate into your customer's default browser language. In comes a message from a customer in French, but your support team is based in North America and provides support primarily over English. Now, there was a time when your agents would translate messages on the fly with some mad copy paste skills where you'd hope that things wouldn't get lost in translation, literally, but those days are gone. In one click, you can receive messages from your customers in any language and translate them in real time into your native tongue, English in this case, and Zendesk will automatically translate your agent's reply back into your customer's default language like magic. Customers get the benefit of being notified that the message has been translated too, in order to prevent, well, mishaps. This is really helpful no matter if you run a small support team but have a global footprint and need to be able to respond in multiple languages but don't have the staff to do it, or maybe you're a large enterprise looking to optimize your agent pool at off-peak intervals when there's no need for full-time staff in every language. At the end of the day, no matter what your setup is, we're delivering you options to serve customers in more languages across the globe out of the box with messaging and agent workspace for a better customer experience as you scale.
Well, Paul, I think that demo illustrated just how easy it is for an agent to use this kind of functionality. The message comes in and it's automatically translated for them. They don't even have to do anything. This is going to be great for agents because it doesn't change their workflow. They can continue to work as normal and they can now serve customers all over the world. So big productivity gain for agents that's incredibly powerful. Paul, the next thing I want to talk about that we have released here allows a business to move a conversation from messaging to another channel, which I think is really powerful. I'd love for you to talk a little bit more about this release.
Yeah, definitely. This is one that's sort of like so simple yet so elegant. Why didn't we do this before? Why didn't we have this earlier? It's around giving the option to continue the conversation from messaging and bring it over to another channel, email in this case. I mean, we get it. Your schedule and your customer schedules don't always match. Not everybody runs a 24/7 shop. So you might happen to be closed when a customer finally has a chance to reach you, or maybe you are in the middle of helping some kind of your customer with something and then they disappeared because they had to go on with their day. So we're making it easier with this feature to help you stay in touch through messaging. Within the conversation, you're able to collect your customer's email address directly within the conversation and follow up with them at a later time. So whether the conversation goes idle, whether you've closed for the day, at the end of the day, it's around delivering more efficient and seamless service across channels.
I think it's incredibly important with people using a number of different channels to get service. The ability to walk away from their device or wherever they may be, but pick it up at a later time on another channel, such as email, is great. Again, want to check it out. Let's jump into the product again and see what this one looks like too.
Messaging already comes with some great features like AnswerBot and Flow Builder, which allow you to give your customers options for self-service around the clock. But let's say your customer really needs help with something that requires the human touch. In this case, your customer wants a personalized dinner recommendation. That's no problem. Flow Builder makes it easy to connect bots and humans. But in this case, the support team at Eatery is out to lunch, so no one's available. Now, rather than send customers an automated response saying that you're offline, you're able to collect your customers' email so that you can follow up with them as soon as you're back online again, even if your customer has left the conversation to continue going about their day. This small improvement packs a lot of punch, helping agents keep the support experience moving in a seamless way across channels while keeping your customers engaged at the same time.
All right. Well, Paul, hey, thank you so much for walking us through both of these. I think quarter over quarter, we just continue to get feedback that people want to see the product more, see these new releases more. So I appreciate you taking us through both of these, which are incredibly powerful messaging updates. Paul, before we wrap up, I know that we have two updates that relate to collecting customers' feedback and then also understanding the performance of your messaging channels and your team. Would love for you to start by talking about how we are rolling out new capabilities to collect customer feedback.
Yeah, so next up is CSAT for messaging, and this one is really about giving your teams visibility into the quality of the service you're providing on messaging channels. CSAT, we know, it's probably the metric that everybody cares about the most. And what we're allowing admins here is the ability, just like on other channels, to collect CSAT right out of the box at the end of a conversation as soon as a ticket moves into a closed state. And we're delivering it in a way that you're familiar with as well. So typical thumbs up, thumbs down, how do we do? There's an option to collect open-ended feedback as well. And on top of that, the data is going to be available for consumption inside of Explorer.
Oh, that's great. Would love to just hear you touch on some of the additional metrics that a business gets through Explorer.
Yeah, definitely. So this is another one that we're pretty excited about. People have been asking for it. Real-time analytics that support live metrics across all messaging channels. It's pretty huge. Customers have been saying with messaging, there are so many channels. How do we gain access into visibility? Like, how do we view them all holistically? And what we're offering with this release is the ability, to access this data and understand how you're performing, whether you're using your website, your mobile app, social channels. Well, you can really dive in with this Explore release and look at things like the conversations that you have in queue, active conversations, whether your agents are online, away, or invisible, what's the average wait time. And all of these things are really to help you tighten up your operations, gain insights into how you're performing with messaging. It's something that we're really excited about.
It's important for businesses to just have the visibility into what an experience looks like so they can go ahead and optimize it, whether it be through some of those historical metrics or real-time metrics. Well, Paul, it sounds like we have no shortage of exciting messaging releases. Everybody who is watching today can find more information about these in the sidebar. Highly suggest that you check those out and continue to learn about messaging. It is a large focus for us at Zendesk. Messaging, we believe, is the future of creating great customer experiences. And Paul, I'm so happy that you could jump on and take us through some of the new releases. And it's great to hear that we're already rapidly including customer feedback into our product development.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always great to come to talk to you during what's new. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next couple of quarters.
All right, well, that wraps up all of our updates to messaging. Let's go ahead here and move into our next section, which are all of our releases to self-service. Okay, so before we jump into the next section, I do just want to remind everybody that we do have operators standing by, as you just saw in the video, and they are just sitting there, spinning around in their chairs, hanging out, waiting for everybody to submit some questions. They're going to answer whatever you want. So as we progress through today's webinar, and you have questions generally about Zendesk, questions about the new releases, where to find more information, anything like that, they're there in the chat to help you find what you're looking for.